context from the story itself. This is from my latest book. It's a history of the early life of my dad. He was born in Poland, taken to slave labour camps in the Soviet Union, luckily found his way to Scotland. On the 6th of December 1941, the cattle train which the Stepeks had climbed into was stuck in yet another railway siding. There were hundreds of exhausted Poles crammed inside, hungry and ill. They had few, if any, resources, and their energy was nearly spent. Janina, by this stage of the ordeal, was unable to stand without help and couldn't walk for more than a few seconds. She was increasingly sick, worn out, and she was starving. The family hadn't eaten for a week and were surviving by melting the snow from the ground and the icicles that formed all day long in the cattle train, these being their only sources of water. After several hours of forlorn waiting, another train stopped on the track adjacent. It was filled with Russians fleeing the advancing German forces in the west. The Polish refugees, aching with hunger, ran out to beg from the Russian people on the other train. Many Russians generously shared food with them. Danka watched this dramatic scene from the door which had been slid open by Jan's my father. He and Zosha had gone begging, leaving Danka to look after their mother. They returned empty-handed, and the whole family sank into a silent desolation. Then Danka thought she heard a word that sounded something like Zhivochka. It was hard to hear among the bustle of Polish beggars and Russians. Again she heard it, only this time much more clearly. A woman's voice, Devochka, Russian for girl. She started to look for the woman, following the direction from which the word had come. The Russian woman, wrapped in a thick fur coat and hat, was standing at the door of the other train, almost directly opposite Danka's carriage. Danka stared at her, ready to see what she might be able to beg from the lady, an opportunity to show again what her innocent looks might draw from a stranger. The woman was young, maybe 30 years old, and to Danka's eyes she looked beautiful. Then, without a word, she delved into a bag at her side and threw something large and heavy straight at Danka. Instinctively Danka recoiled, but she caught the object. It was a very large loaf of bread. She looked up to thank the lady, but she had already gone back into the carriage. This loaf fed the family for a week. They had nothing else during that time, and it's likely that without it, they would all have died of hunger. The date was the 6th of December, St. Nicholas's Day. It's the day that in some parts of Poland, children receive an early Christmas present. Thank you.